Hey everyone, it's Antonio Garcia with Kokoro Personal Training, and in this episode of our office workout series, we're going to take a look at different types of push-ups you can do. Oftentimes, when you're in a confined space and you only have a short amount of time, yesterday we took a look at using resistance bands to work, arms, shoulders, legs. But when it comes to working your chest, unless you have something to tie the resistance band to, then really push-ups are still the best way to go to get a chest workout. Now, when people think of push-ups, they think of just a standard way of a little more shoulder width apart, push-ups, which are great, but the problem is that you can get bored very fast if that's all you're doing. Plus, you're only hitting one, group of muscles. So we want to take a look at, using push-ups to work different areas of push-ups. Give me just a second here. Oh, I'm sorry, it just shows that my connection is weak, so my apologies for that. But anyways, so most people just think, hey, there's only one way to do push-ups, and they get bored, so and it only works one, basically the chest the same way every time. So when it comes to fitness, you want to hit the muscles different ways. Now, if you're in a gym doing split training, over a course of 6 to 8 weeks, you want to change your routine so you hit the muscles differently. Start a whole new routine. If you're doing circuit training, oftentimes the workouts are changed almost daily, if not weekly or periodically. When it comes to push-ups, there's just so many different ways you can do push-ups than just the standard push-up like this. So I'm going to demonstrate just a few kind of push-ups with you. So the basic push-up, about this position here, pushing straight out. First one we're going to demonstrate is the wide push-ups, okay? Coming out nice and wide here. What this does, it kind of hits the pectorals a little bit differently, almost like doing a pec fly. So coming out further allows you to work the outside of the chest muscles a little bit more. So basically you're doing the same thing as you're doing with the basic push-up, just bringing it out further. So let's take a look at that. So you want to bring it out just a little bit further, and then you're just going to come down and up, just like you would with a regular push-up. Okay, come down to as if someone's holding a fist, touching with your chest, and then coming back out, breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. Okay, so you can hit the outside of the chest a little bit more, almost like a pec fly, by having your arms out a little bit wider. Now, you can do the opposite and bring your hands in closer, which will actually work your triceps a little bit more. So you can bring your hands in close underneath your chest, push out like this, okay, keeping the hands coming straight forward, and then work out those triceps. So let me demonstrate those. So in this one, you're gonna hug yourself. A big mistake people make on this is they tend to push their elbows out. You want to hug your body with your elbows as you're doing this. So as you're coming down and pushing, you want to squeeze that body with those arms so that you really work on those triceps a little bit more. So what we're gonna do, keep those arms nice and close. You're just gonna come down, hugging the body with your elbows, just like so. So that particular push-up, you'll be working the triceps a little bit more. And of course, as you're doing this, you want to breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. So those are close grip push-ups. Also, you can do this on like chest press machines when you're doing really close grip type pushes on the machine or with weight, kind of the same thing. Okay, so next thing we're going to take a look at is hitting your muscles a little bit differently, your chest muscles again, a little bit differently what's called high-low push-ups. Okay, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to have one arm up here, one arm down here as you're doing those push-ups. Okay, hitting at a horizontal, at a diagonal line like this. Okay, and of course you want to switch it up. So I'm going to demonstrate here in a second, but to kind of show you how this works, you have one hand up here, one hand down here. You do your push-up, okay? Bring one hand up, one hand down, and then do the other side. And you go back and forth like this, okay? Coming in, coming out. And of course, breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up, just like so. So that's called one high, one low. Let me demonstrate that real quick. Okay, so that's a demonstration of the high-low. Again, working the muscles differently like that. Okay, let's take a look at another way of doing push-ups, and this is using an object. I don't have a medicine ball with me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of books, and as long as I got these in my hand, I might as well do some, self-advertising on Amazon and also my website, AntonioGarciaBooks.com. Here you can get a signed copy of my mystery novel, Sins of the Fathers, which came out a couple years ago. You can also get a signed copy of my Weight Loss for the Rest of Us book that I wrote back in 2010. Hopefully I'll come out with more volumes of this later on. And of course you can also pre-order my new fantasy novel coming out later this year called Black Knight. So I'm actually going to use these books. And again, you can go to the website, and I'll put this in a link below of AntonioGarciaBooks.com to get signed copies of that, and also check out my weekly short stories that I write. I also do an audio version of those into a podcast, which I'll be starting soon, hopefully this weekend. And then I also make videos of my short stories. So I have one up on my website right now that you can check out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little self-advertising. You're welcome. Okay. So here's just going to use these books. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to create an uneven plane so that I'm going to have one hand down here, one on the books. Okay, which will cause my arms, instead of being level like this, one will be up as I'm doing them. Okay. And what that'll do is kind of like with the high lows where you're going vertically like this. Now we're going to have it vertically like this. So what we'll do, okay, and if you have a medicine ball, works even better because in between push-ups you can slide the ball back and forth, have the ball in this hand, slide it over here, have it under this hand, and go back and forth. But if you're using something like this where you're just using some books, just place your hand on it like this, one hand on the ground, and just do regular push-ups. After so many, just slide it over and do the other side. Just like so, okay? And again, this is just using books, something I had already in here that I was able to use to kind of unbalance that arms. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways you can do, keep your push-ups interesting, keep it challenging, work different muscles, or you work the same muscles differently, which essentially, as a personal trainer, that's what I try to focus on when I work with clients getting stronger, is I work on teaching them the basics, but also to make sure I'm always challenging them physically, working the same muscles differently, different ways, so you can just work a lot more range of muscle groups. Because even though you have major muscle groups, you still have hundreds and thousands of muscles that are all entwined. That if you work them differently, you're able to stay stronger and work a lot of different ranges of movements. So it's much easier for you to be strong in a lot of different directions. So again, you have the basic push-ups. You can go wide, bring in close toward the triceps, high, low, okay, and then uneven, one high, one low here, okay. And of course, you can even take it to a new level of working. If you have a wobble board, doing something that gives you an unsteady. So if you have a wobble board, you can put your hands on there. That will make it work those stabilizer muscles for balance, things like that. So just kind of give you a few ideas. So if you're off in the office and you're working out and you want to get some push-ups in, you're getting tired of doing the same push-ups over and over again, here's a few extra ways of doing the push-up that you can do that will keep it challenging, okay, and also keep you from getting bored. So hope you enjoyed today's episode, and look forward. It's Friday, Gene Day, so won't be doing these for the next 2 days, but I'll see you back on Monday when we get back into my dress clothes and show you some other ways that you can work out in your office, and even take you through a few workouts as time progresses as well. All right, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Happy Cinco de Mayo.